guys, I'm Cynthia LaShawn here at the Hatch, hanging out with the one and only designer, no, not the rapper, an actual fashion designer, Ashton.
How y'all doing? This is Ashton from 96. We out here at the Hatch.
Where did you get this name from?
Oh, 96. So I just felt like, obviously I was born in 96. And I felt like when I was born, there was a lot of things in culture. So you had the Olympics 1996 was in Atlanta, Georgia. You had Biggie Smalls he dropped the album. Tupac dropped his album. Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt. Even like in tech, I know a lot of people not in tech, but I'm in tech. And that was the year Steve Jobs came back to Apple and changed Apple completely. Like it would never be no Apple iPhone if Steve Jobs never took the job to come back to Apple.
So it was like a defining moment.
It was a defining moment in culture. Everything that we are influenced right now came from 96. Like if you think about a lot of stuff that happened, like a lot of stuff we use, the iPhone, a lot of the music, everybody that's doing music said it was influenced by Biggie and Tupac. So think if they would have never dropped that album. Think if the Olympics would have never happened and it came back to the US. Think of about how sports and how many people that saw the Olympics, they're in that city, influenced them to start doing track or doing sports and stuff like that. So I felt like during that time, it was just so great. And then style was so great. Like, man, people...
Like, it was the 90s, wearing back in the 90s, still wearing today.
Yeah, like, 90s is coming back. So I felt like that era was so fruitful in culture. And through my brand, I wanted to do that same thing. I wanted to be fruitful in building culture and creating trends and create stuff that not only... I'm not trying to copy people and just do stuff that everybody else do. I'm trying to do stuff that's different and create a wave. And if people follow me and start doing stuff that I'm doing, I won't be mad. I would be happy because that means I'm creating trends and creating a culture.
So what is your major?
Like I said, my major is experience architecture and my minor is entrepreneurship and innovation.
So entrepreneurship and innovation, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not in the fashion college?
No, I'm not in the fashion college at all. I have no connection to fashion.
So how did you get into the fashion world up here? Like when did you start?
As far as Michigan State?
Yes.
So I was I didn't start till like my sophomore year, as far as like getting involved into like the fashion on campus. I had started making clothes, I had started designing since I was in high school, but not until I got involved with the Hatch and with the Entrepreneurship Association, that's when I began to get involved. But not as far as like introducing fashion to the campus and introducing different designers and things that we were doing. I didn't start that till I could say like 2016, and I started doing like the fashion week and stuff like that.
So you started getting into fashion when you was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So what like prompted you like, yo, I want to do fashion?
I can say like my high school, obviously Cass Tech. I feel like it was a creative school, so that goes back to the thing where you are influenced by the people you are around. Because my friends were graphic designers, we were all like into fashion, we were all into like music, we were into the same artists, so we were into stylist artists, we were into Pharrell, Kanye West, and Big Sean. So I wanted to be different.
So when we said the Pharrell and Kanye West, you mentioned like Kanye West and Pharrell. So what era are we talking about? Are we talking about Yeezy era or like Polo Don with the pink?
We talk about pink polo, just being different, being, obnoxious, standing out, and creating your own style. Like those people, the stuff that they wore like was never before seen, and changed the way people dress, and like, that's what I was influenced by to create trends. They were really trendsetters. Now a lot of times people just follow trends and just make stuff that everybody making. But back then I felt like those people were creating, just doing stuff that nobody ever thought of. Like at a point in time, wearing pink polo was considered like feminine, but like Kanye made pink polo. Everybody was wearing pink at that time.
Everyone was hitting up Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph was popping.
Okay, so wait, how did you like get through it? Because like one thing about Cass, you had to wear uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you still be able to stylish and you had to risk either being stylish or getting that suspension?
Man, I was first off, like, I probably wore the uniform the least. So I could say like I used to wear my stuff all the time. So like I probably go to school with a polo on, and I take the polo off and just wear my shirt. And I used to just, man, you never know how you can make style a uniform stylish. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about.
You just gotta follow the rules because you had to wear the khaki pants but wear some cargos.
Yeah, but I had all the cargos, all the G's.
And had a nice little jacket.
Yeah, I made it work though. I even like at the time I had like windbreakers at that time. So I throw a windbreaker over the polo and match. Like I matched everything. I had like G-Shocks. There's a lot of different things, accessories. I had a G-Shock for every polo I had. So I had green one, blue one, white one, clear. Like I made everything work. Like even if it was a uniform, I made that uniform probably look the best you could make a uniform.
They're like, look, best dress.
Best dress.
All right, so you said something happened when you was trying to turn your sketch into actual materials with a friend that designed it. Can you go into detail about that?
Yeah, so when I first got into fashion, I had no type of skill set for design. Like I didn't know graphic design, I didn't know textile. So I reached out to my friend because he was more into graphics. And I was asking like, okay, I drew a sketch up and I'm like, can you make this? He was like, cool, bet. Like I'm not charging you, I get it done. And like I kept asking like, did you get it done? Did you get it done? And it took him 2 weeks to make the simple, like I'm so embarrassed. I would never show anybody what that was because it was just like whack. Like that was like the wackest stuff. And it took him 2 weeks. Where something now, like I could make that in like a minute, probably less than that. So it just helped me. I think that helped me get to the next level because it made me like, oh, if he take it too long, like I'm gonna do it myself. So I started learning it and started like messing around with different programs and stuff, teaching myself how to do graphic design.
So one thing you recommend is just people like learning yourself.
Yeah, learning yourself, getting out and doing it. Like you're not gonna be perfect. Like my first designs, I'm embarrassed by them. They were terrible. I
They
swear.
weren't stick figures, were they?
Sound flat. No, they weren't stick figures, but it was just terrible. I was at a different time and different influence, so different things in culture. There's a lot of stuff that probably had to do with why it was terrible to me now. But back then, I thought it was fire. You know what I'm saying? So that book, you grow. So just start now and just doing different things to keep working at it. You just keep doing it, you'll get better.
So what made you decide to go to college and not just like, okay, I got this fashion thing going, man, I don't need college. What made you decide to even come to college? Because a lot of people, when they have their business, get this big thing like, should even pursue school nowadays. So what made you still pursue? Because honestly, you probably could have still started it without going to school. But like, what made you be like, I'm still going to apply and go to school and things like that, and major in something not dealing with fashion when you got to your senior year?
So my mom, college is one of the things for my family. It's just one of the things where it wasn't an option. And then Cass Tech pushed college on you. Like it wasn't like, are you going to college? Just what college you going to? So it was two different things. Like my mom would always ask me what college was I going to, and then everybody around me, my peers, that influence, that people, the people around you influence you a lot because everybody was going to college anyway. So I'm like, I have to go to college. And now that I did, college helped me, propel me to the next level because the resources and the mentorship that I got from people here, I would never got if I never went here. So that's probably the best thing is to get around resources, get around mentorship, and to teach yourself different principles because to be in college and be successful in college, you have to have discipline.
See, guys, look, it pays off to go to school, all right?
It does.
So, like, what made you end up choosing this major as well?
Well, I started off in engineering, and obviously that wasn't tailor-made to what I wanted to do, but it's when go back to the thing of following what people tell you, the influence of people or listening to people that doesn't really have knowledge or really don't know what your true, what you really want to do. So I started with engineering, and that I wasn't happy at all. This is probably the worst year of my life. Engineering in school, doing stuff that I don't like, and I'm not like.
You're not happy
with it.
Not happy,
and I'm like, man, what is this? Like, I'm not interested in chemistry. I'm not interested in, EGR wasn't even fun for me. And then I switched over.
Just to think, it almost didn't happen. Did you have trouble trying to stay true to yourself and still keep this fashion thing going?
Yeah, I quit. I had quit. My first year, I didn't even do anything. I wasn't active in my brand. I wasn't active in entrepreneurship my freshman year because of engineering and because I thought that that's what I was supposed to be because that's what my mom told me I was supposed to be. That's my grandmother. That's my dad. That's what society told me I was supposed to be. I was supposed to go to college, get a degree, work for
get a real job,
work for a corporate company. Professor, so he was telling me that based off of when you take the Derby art class, I'm pretty sure you took that too. You actually have to write, like a lot of our papers is based on like stuff that we were interested in. So I did a paper on graphic design. I did a paper on different designs and stuff like that. And he recommended me to this new program that they were starting up as called XA, User Experience Architecture, and said I would fit in there. So I actually met with the dean of the program, and he kind of pitched it to me. And he was saying, like, you're like the perfect student, you're a graphic design entrepreneur, and we want students like that because the program is based off of product design, based off of how overall users experience with products and things of that aspect. So I feel like helped me grow my overall business, the system, rather than just knowing how to make the product, but knowing like how people experience the product, how my users would view my website, how I would design the website and stuff like that. Like my mom did not approve of me changing my major. My dad didn't really approve of it. A lot of people thought didn't think I was making the right decision. But you just gotta show them. So what I've learned in life, period, is talking don't get you that far. So I could tell my mom what I'm gonna do. I could tell them I'm switch major, what this major meant. But until I started to go different places, until I started to sell product, until I started getting featured in magazines and doing all these great things, she didn't believe into it. But now my mom like, oh, you doing this? You going to New York next week? Oh,
you
yeah.
doing some big things,
So
huh?
now she bragging about me in engineering. She's just happy. She telling me like, you know, what you need to do to pop. Like, she trying to encourage me and give me ideas to get to the next level because she want me to grow and she think that I got potential to be great. So that engineering thing back in the day, she think I made the right decision. So it's just like, sometimes you gotta trust your gut and you gotta be yourself and do you. Because if you do you and you do you right and you do you correct and you grow and you become great, then everybody that said you should have been an engineer gonna be salty. So
They're gonna be mad and be buying your stuff like, yo, can I get a discount?
Yeah.
So after connecting with resources, things like that, because you already out there, you already had like a fashion show. Like, how many fashion shows have you done?
5 or 6.
Already.
Yeah.
So have you done anything? You mentioned doing stuff with Fashion Week, and Q excel on that.
Yeah, so MSU Fashion Week, it was something, like you said, I'm not a part of the apparel textile the program at all. So I realized like they have a fashion show all the time, but I couldn't showcase my stuff in that because I'm not a part of the major. So I saw a gap, and a lot of stuff like outside of fashion where I'm like put my time into it is a gap, and I feel like I really want it to happen. So I decided like, okay, if they don't have a show for me and they don't have a space where I can showcase my stuff to the world and I want to showcase my stuff to the campus because I think it's a lot of great things, let's put it together. And I knew all the designers were reaching out to me and they wanted to work with me. And I'm like, I can't do 12 different collabs. Like, I can't collab with every single person.
So you collab with them since you wasn't in college. So you found like a back door to get in.
Yeah, so it was, well, not necessarily a back door because these are designers in the same field of me that's not in apparel textile. But when I released my fall winter collection, a lot of people that saw it, like I got a lot of attention that I didn't get from my last collection. So a lot of people started to like reach out and wanted to work with me, like do collabs, make clothes together and stuff like that. But I'm like, I can't make clothes with like 5 different designers, like everybody, because that's just a saturation. Like I don't have to like capital to get invested to make clothes with everybody. So I'm like, why don't we just, if we all want to get exposure, why don't we just put a fashion show together? So for us to be independent designers that's not apparel textile, I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to get shine like I got shine.
So when was the moment that you start getting put on? Like you start like, things start popping like for you?
I mean,
since you've been to college?
Probably like
This year?
Yeah, this year. So it started when I released my fall winter collection. The 3 reflective jackets was really big. The bombers, like that collection probably is the introduction, like my best collection. And then Fashion Week, I did that, put on a fashion show. But not until the state news article. When the state news article, the Lansing State Journal article, that was probably when I started, like everybody started to know about me because it's like you just start seeing me a lot of places. And like you start seeing my clothes everywhere. People, my friends, the people that wear it, they don't just wear it. They actually are proud of it. So a lot of people like they wear it and they be like, yeah, this is my friend, like this is Ashton. So I appreciate everybody that support me and put me on. Like a lot of people that wear my clothes actually like really like they put on for 96.